A very good evening and thanks for joining us on News 360. It is live from our news hub here at Adesawe Kanda in Accra. My name is Aisha Yakubu Khalid.
And I am Komla Aduma. Top stories tonight.
News 360 headlines is brought to you by Deluxy Acrylic Paint, Heaven Insecticide Spray and Coil,
Kel Charcoal Toothpaste,
and Apa Foods,
My Life Insurance.
Drivers and other road users flying the Bupe-Kumasi highway request the rehabilitation of a 500-meter deplorable stretch on the Bupe Bridge.
Also this evening, fear and anxiety grips residents, particularly farmers, along the Black and White Volta following the imminent opening of spillways of Ebare and Kompianga dams in Burkina Faso.
And the Ghana Federation of Traditional Medicine Practitioners developed framework to streamline referral processes.
Also in this bulletin is TikTok's latest trend, the milk crate challenge, the dangerous feat you may have to rethink before engaging in. We'll tell you more.
On the international front, American forces launched a drone strike in Kabul on Sunday, killing a suicide bomber suspected to have been preparing to attack the airport.
We have details of these stories and even more, including entertainment and sport, if you stay with us over the next 60 minutes. Remember, we're live on DSTV channel 279 across all our social media platforms. It's TV3 Ghana. Let's begin from here. And drivers and other road users plying the Bupe-Kumasi highway are requesting that a 500-meter deplorable stretch close to the Bupe Bridge is reshaped and the bridge reconstructed. This follows vehicular traffic congestion of more than 200 vehicles in Bupe Bridge after one truck broke down on the stretch.
The Bupe-Kumasi highway is a major road linking the southern and northern part of the country. Farm produce, domestic and other industrial materials, including heavy-duty equipment, are usually transported along the stretch. One will have to cross two bridges at Yape and Bupe before entering or exiting the southern and northern part of the country. However, many commuters say the bridge has outlived its usefulness, thus calling for a new one. In 2017, the two bridges were closed down for repair works, but this has not totally resolved the problem. According to the drivers, the traffic started building up from Friday after a downpour, blaming it on the pothole-riddled portion. One of the trucks got stuck in the middle of the road, making it difficult for other vehicles to go past it.
The fact that these roads need to be fixed, we need alternative routes as well. You know the state at which crimes are high in the state now. So definitely I'll have to use the normal route that people are equally flying.
Yes, though that stretch of the road is deplorable. It needs to be fixed. But one thing is that if we all apply our senses, if, let's say, anything can happen, it's a vehicle. It's up to us, the commuters, to manage our way through. And there was a way through, but because of greedy and lack of common sense and listening, that is why we are on.
Motorbikes and tricycle riders took advantage of the situation to cash in. Some youth who created a diversion for the vehicles to pass through also took 5 cedis from each driver.
Road accidents claim more than 1,000 lives each year. Now, there are some who are lucky to survive but are left with lifelong deformities. My colleague Komla Adum went to meet one of them as road safety campaigns are being scaled up to reduce the numbers.
An estimated 76% of persons, particularly for those of us living in Accra, are vulnerable to an accident each day you step out of your home. A road safety report commissioned by the Accra Metropolitan Assembly last year revealed the risk levels are even higher for motorcyclists. One-year-old Selassie Agbanato survived a ghastly crash 2 years ago while he was on motorbike delivery duties. After spending 8 months in hospital, he can now walk again.
I was doing deliveries for people. I had done rounds that day. I realized I was very tired, but it was getting late. It was like 5:30 there, and something was like, my instinct was like, oh, why wouldn't you find somewhere and park and then rest more before you get home? If I park the bike, somebody can take it. So let me get home and rest well. The next thing I remember is I was waking up. Yeah, so then I was told I had an accident. It was after I'd recovered that people in the neighborhood meet me and like, hey, are you the one? Like, really? Wow, we thank God.
But his life has not been the same since.
I feel pains once in a while, but especially when I do long distance walks. Then I messed my right eye also up. So now when light goes in so much, like I feel it's distorted, like the images from there are distorted.
At the heart of a conversation about accidents are road users in a hurry to reach their destinations, some simply inattentive. You will find that a simple traffic rule to stop at the red light is one of the many traffic regulations some motorists do not respect. Let's just observe here how many minutes motorists are required to stop at this red light. One minute 30 seconds, but some motorists would rather breeze past. The Police Motor Traffic and Transport Department says its latest technology-enabled street camera devices would help track some of these recalcitrant road users.
If a car is registered, we are able to get that car. But if you are not registered, it means physically we have to inform the police on the street to look out for those offenders.
Selassie says he has learnt the hard way to observe these traffic regulations no matter the circumstance. He wants other road users to do same.
When you have your license, your bike is insured, everything, you have a correct thing. When you get to a red light, there's no need to jump the red light. Then also, the main thing is when you're tired, you need to rest.
Even though his life has been altered, he knows he is in a much better place because the over 1,000 others since 2019 who have died are gone with their dreams and left their families still devastated. Komla Adum, TV3 News, Accra.
Let's do some other stories now. And fear and anxiety has gripped residents, particularly farmers, along the black and white Volta in the northern part of the country following the imminent opening of the spillways of the Bari and Kompenga dams in Burkina Faso. The annual spillage, which began in 1999, 8 years after the construction of the multi-purpose hydro dams on the White Volta, causes havoc in the 5 regions of the north.
This year's spillage, if not well managed, could be extremely devastating. Major roads were destroyed, farmlands and property submerged over the past 2 weeks after 12 hours of heavy rains in parts of the Upper West region. The resultant flooding brought transportation of goods and services to the northern neighboring countries to a halt. Describing it as a national disaster, government had to quickly mobilize 50 million cedis to commence emergency works on roads which were damaged by the floods. Construction on the Tamne irrigation dam, according to residents, is also causing flooding in the Garu, Tempani and Boko West districts, submerging the Gagbiri-Garu stretch of the road.
Initially, when it started, we started complaining that the thing would not favor us. They were only looking at the good side of it. Oh, we are going to get irrigation in our community. Now, the things have now counted. The road, the health center, the education of the children, our own houses. They've never thought of this.
The Black Volta River, which flows through some districts, has already overflowed its banks, and residents and farmers along the basin have been advised to relocate upstream. Farmers in Nadoli, Kalio, Jirapa, Diafiama, Busi, Isa, Wa East, Wa West and Laura have had to harvest their crops prematurely. With the area already inundated by floods and continuous rainfall, there are fears the spillage of the two dams could cause much more damage and displacement of residents. Residents along the Whites-Volta Lake, most of whom are farmers, are usually severely hit during the annual spillage. The situation is also not different in the East and West Mamprusi municipalities. Residents and farmers have further been warned against wading through floodwaters to avoid being bitten by snakes or other harmful reptiles, as their habitats may be affected following reports that crocodiles are creeping into houses in the Timpani district.
Let's now look at some health issues. Although there are traditional medicine practitioners managing mental health disorders in their country, their work is not recognized. There's also no policy to guide the referral of clients by traditional medicine practitioners, sadly. The Ghana Federation of Traditional Medicine Practitioners is developing a framework to streamline referral processes among traditional medicine practitioners specialized in mental health and orthodox practice.
The use of traditional medicine for the treatment of various disorders, including spiritual and mental health, is not a new practice. Although there are various traditional medicine practitioners who are performing well regarding the management of mental disorders, their effort in mental health is not recognized.
We are friend CB Saba Obi Kukwa in a team, and I say Bodam or Bodama, and Bibi or I they count. Traditional
medicine and the practitioners, we are always the first point of call for others to seek, healthcare delivery. So mental health, the people who live with us, they are within us, they are with us in the communities. How do we, make sure that we extend the services of healthcare delivery in terms of traditional medicine to reach out to these ones?
Some practitioners say they can manage the treatment of persons with mental health challenges roaming the streets.
Traditional medicine can cure so many. If it to be, government should build some house or some place and collect all the mental people in the town or the region and send them there, and they should call the herbalists. We can cure them all.
But there's a challenge, as some traditional and orthodox medicine practitioners, as well as faith-based organizations, in a bid to treat patients with mental health challenges, abuse their rights by chaining, starving, and sometimes beating them. To stop this trend, the Ghana Federation of Traditional Medicine Practitioners Association, GAFTRAM, and its stakeholders is developing a framework to streamline referral processes among traditional medicine practitioners specialized in mental health and orthodox practitioners.
This workshop was to engage the practitioners and also build their capacity as to how to handle such patients. So this is to enlighten them, build them so that they will know how best to handle such people. They have their right, and for that matter, their right do not have to be abused.
If we are to go on treating patients with mental disorders, so we still have to do a lot of training so that at least our people who are into the cure of such mental disorders will get the appropriate facilities that they will use.
Meanwhile, a peer review scheme will begin in October 2021 to inspect facilities of practitioners specialized in mental health care to ensure that they do not abuse the human rights of their clients.
You're still watching News 360 here on TV3. Now, Aisha, what efforts have you taken to ensure the privacy of your information on WhatsApp?
None yet. I haven't yet seen the need to do that yet.
Interesting. Then I'm sure this coming story is for you and many others. Now, hackers are having a field day using fake messages to break into personal WhatsApp accounts. My colleague Emmanuel Samani has been finding out how you can protect your data and information as well as prevent your accounts from being hacked.
WhatsApp has been around for a long time. It launched in 2009 and was purchased by Facebook in 2014. But recently, it's gaining more popularity for the encryption features that makes its chats more secure than other apps. The app's end-to-end encryption feature has earned WhatsApp a bit of a reputation for being safe, secure, and private. But is it really?
Safe to an extent, but not very safe. I mean, if it's a very vital information, I wouldn't advise you to share it across WhatsApp.
They are not safe because, again, they are taking your data in terms of your personal data and everything.
I think it's a popular trend on WhatsApp now. Even when you belong to groups, you'd find that a group member's number has been changed. Then before you realize, that number begins to send messages that you do not think are coming from that person. In some instances, you find that the messages that come through are those that are requesting that you subscribe to a service or to pay a certain amount of money to someone and those kind of things.
Reuters reports that government officials in more than 20 countries have been targeted via WhatsApp hacking. Reuters didn't name the countries, nor did it explicitly confirm that hacking was carried out by NTO or using the company's tools, but the Newswire story seems to suggest a link to the notorious hacker-for-hire firm. How do these hackers get access to your account? Technically, the hack is a socially engineered theft of SMS authentication codes, enabling hackers to hijack accounts and then use those accounts to target the victim's contacts with requests for money or malware-laced attachments.
The attacker gets hold of your accounts from your compromised accounts of a friend. They also install WhatsApp on the device and enter your number as the account. The system then texts you the SMS code. Now, once the attacker sends you a message, or it could be via call or via SMS or even Facebook, pretending to be your friend and claiming that they've been locked out their phone, they say to you that the network has texted you their unlock code, and so please forward it to them. As soon as you send the attacker the code, they immediately hijack your account.
Audrey Merkel is the Computer Emergency Response Team Lead with the National Cybersecurity Center.
The reason is the mere fact that WhatsApp is an widely used instant messaging mobile application. And, the more people are on a platform or on a service, cyber criminals tend to attack that platform or service.
She highlighted some of the implications of a WhatsApp account takeover.
The implication definitely is the impersonation. The person becomes you. The person has all the access to all your contacts on your device, and he can commit crime, and he can actually do anything because he's hiding behind your profile.
Fortunately, there are ways to safeguard your WhatsApp account, though not 100% secure. So now that you know how to safeguard your WhatsApp, go to your settings and enable two-factor authentication and ensure you have the PIN set up. Emmanuel Samani, TV3 News, Accra.
Some insights there by Emmanuel Samani. You might want to pay a lot more attention to your WhatsApp privacy now. I know that I will. President Akufo-Addo says government has implemented policies targeted at ensuring microeconomic stability to make Ghana Africa's investment hub. The president was delivering his remarks at the G20 Compact with Africa Summit in Berlin, Germany.
President Akufo-Addo told the G20 Compact with Africa Summit in Berlin his government, since assuming office, has implemented programs and policies which have led to improved macroeconomic conditions.
We in Ghana have tackled systematically the structural challenges which have inhibited our drive towards becoming Africa's investment hub. This has been done through the implementation of targeted policies across focus areas such as establishing macroeconomic stability, enhancing domestic revenue mobilization, improving fiscal risk management, and strengthening our business, legal and regulatory frameworks to de-risk private investments.
He noted COVID-19 has exposed deep structural fragilities in Africa which require attention with particular regards to green growth.
As one of the few economies to have recorded positive growth in 2020, Ghana has so far had a strong start to 2021 despite the ravages of the pandemic. with the economy recording a growth rate of 3.1% and 8.9% in the first and second quarters of this year, respectively, reflecting the impact of government's COVID-19 containment measures and recovery interventions. We believe we are on course to return our nation onto the path of steady economic growth.
The president told the meeting government has initiated the 100 billion cedis Ghana Cares program, which is aimed at revitalizing the economy.
With public debt levels in Ghana currently at 77.1% of GDP, government has limited the scope for growth through debt-funded large public investment programs. The private sector will thus have to play a more pivotal role if we are to bounce back rapidly from the effects of COVID-19.
President Akufo-Addo is confident Ghana's ongoing partnership under the CWA will promote effective economic recovery. He implored other African heads of state present to help build an Africa capable of safeguarding its environment.
Let's stay with the presidency a while longer, this time with the vice president, because he has charged NPP MPs to propagate the success stories and achievements shocked by the Akufo-Addo-led government to dismantle what he describes as propaganda and lies churned out by the opposition. At a workshop for the majority caucus at Impraiso in the Eastern region, Dr. Bawumia urged them to strengthen the bond between Parliament and the executive to engender the fulfillment of the promises made to the Ghanaian and further earn their trust to continue governance of a nation.
The Vice President, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, reminded the MPs of their key communication role to play and work extra hard to respond to comments which downplay the achievements of the Akufo-Addo administration.
The propaganda machinery of the NDC will be oiled using their representation in Parliament. Every conceivable government policy or intervention will be furiously attacked. They will question the government's promises. They will unleash these attacks both on the floor of Parliament and outside the floor. There is no better group to respond to these attacks, to set the record straight and to match them boot for Chalewoti than the majority caucus of Parliament.
He said the success stories of the government of introducing policies and interventions which is reducing the suffering of the people.
We need to let Ghanaians know how we have been able to reduce, not completely eliminate, but to reduce the hardships. The hardships were there before we came into government in 2017. In the area of social interventions, our government has been just marvelous. NAPCO for the graduate unemployed, the disabled, 50% of them are now employed in the toll booths as we speak. The presidential empowerment of women with disability as well as men with disability. We had 2 million Ghana cedis each for that program. Increased the District Assembly Common Fund by 50% for the disabled. Import duties for importers reduced by 30 to 50%.
The Vice President spoke about the restoration of the teachers and the nurses trainee allowances and pension benefits, which have been made easier for pensioners to claim.
In politics this evening, the General Secretary of the People's National Convention, Janet Nabila, insists she's still at posts. Speaking to TV3 after the party's National Executive Council meeting, at which she was suspended, she noted members present did not form the quorum required for the meeting. She further leveled the corruption allegations against some leading party members, whom she said were making frantic efforts to cover up their misdeeds.
They know in their heart, they know that they did not form a quorum, but they just did it because they told some people yesterday that they were going to, they've been telling people, we will suspend him, we have the power. But yesterday, when the time came and they realized that they don't have power in PNC, and they themselves, they are just stooges, they decided to do what they did to cover up their shame. Do you know that we have 16 regions in the country, and according to our constitution, more than half of the regions are supposed to attend a neck meeting for it to become legal. So when it was 10, it was 6. Now that it is 16, it's supposed to be 9. Yesterday, Daniba, who is the chairman, and Apasara, who is the 2020 flag bearer, they did not form a quorum. It was only 6 chairmen who attended. It is illegal. I am not suspended. I am the General Secretary of PNC. I still remain the General Secretary who will champion the truth no matter what. These are corrupt leaders who think that politics is a place where you come and amass wealth to use it for your family and friends. I have been telling Ghanaians, it is hard time Ghanaians stop voting for people who are unemployed. These 2 men are unemployed. They don't have anything to do with. People say that, oh, as a political party, you don't come out to say your dirty linen in public. It's a lie. That is what we have done, and this country has gone down deep in corruption. Let's try now to eradicate or bring out all the corrupt practices of people who don't deserve to be in public offices.
Well, there's been a reaction to this, and 2020 presidential candidates of the People's National Convention, David Apasara, has described as untrue allegations against him and the party's chairman by the party's suspended General Secretary, Janet Nabila. He indicated the corruption tag on the party's leadership was simply born out of hatred.
Is the leadership corrupt? How can the leadership be corrupt when we are the first in the party history to raise funds and put it in the party account and expend it? You see, in Ghana, corruption has become a political tool, a campaign tool against opponents. And so anybody who does something wrong and you want to bring some corrective message, the next moment is that, oh, he's a corrupt person. And people tend to believe these stories from wherever they are coming from. They believe it. You know, people should be looking at people's backgrounds. Where are these people coming from? This is a pathological liar, if I may choose the right word. This is somebody who was on air a few months ago and said we had stolen 1.7 million Ghana cedis. She was on air, point blank. And she told the whole country that myself and Moses Daniba had stolen 1.7 million Ghana cedis. And today she's saying we have stolen 700,000. So which is which? You portray us like we don't know what we are doing. That is wrong. And we have called her to order severally. But she says she must move on that tangent because she wants to take me off as a presidential candidate of the party.
Watching us live here on News 360 on TV3. After the break, there's more news right here. Please stay with us.
I'm going to interview Zuzum right here in my house. Hey!
Look up there. Why are you using inferior pen?
It was a mistake. I no check.
Acrobat 2. I'm going to knock you out.
I know, sir.
You deserve quality.
Don't make mistakes. Stop.
You did the right thing.
When you are going to buy a paint, don't look left, don't look right. Go straight and grab the luxury acrylic paint. No be any paint, be paint.
The luxury acrylic paint.
Paint me champion.
Customer. 1 minute. Kweku sharp. Eso afama de be.
Oh, sharp cry.
Hey, Antekone, enem no da su sisko. Kweku sharp. Oh, we dey oye. On te se ba ko no de misike dwane ye no. Sent na Vodafone cash. What is any insurance? A boom, my future son. And no one is a watching phone. No dial *462 hash. No register. Get me an sir. So dial *462 now register. No what chase can do our person this year or something. If you turn Ghana airport. What science in your life insurance? My future son. Accident. And also what to my future bebo. Sika ketu every to say true Ghana cedis. I would back out savings money. Any my future idea ayo. My future ba ma me no me. For phone, na dial *462 hash. I will Vodafone so. Never come home. My future. Obini watch na 70. Fabicie.
Vodafone so nkwa na to me my future, my life, and Millennium Insurance, and any brewer.
I love football. Football can be a dirty game, on or off the pitch. Even when I'm trying to score at a party, stains find a way of tracking me down. But I don't worry at all, because I have Cleansoft. Use new Cleansoft 360 Deep Clean, a unique formula with active ingredients and enzymes that gets rid of all stubborn stains and leaves your clothes smelling wonderful.
Cleansoft, my favorite.
Cleansoft 360 Deep Clean, clean all.
Can you picture? Is that not your wife?
Every time your children are falling sick, you don't have money.
Stop, everyone! Baby.
Stop.
What's that TV for tonight? You know I like that sweet-scented insecticide spray. Little bit on the porch. Now the be up in the living room hall. Bedroom what you hear. Me love you, me baby. Of course, I take very good care of my wife and children. So I always win. If you want to protect your family against mosquitoes, there's still this sweet-scented perfume coil now. I repel mosquitoes. I know a man we say baby. And the spray, also sweet-scented. It kills all crawling and flying insects. Heaven insecticide. Oh, sharp no. Prevention is always better than Maunsanka or Heaven insecticide spray. And in the coil, if you say heaven dear,
this advertisement has been vetted and approved by the
Welcome back. Let's do some other stories tonight. For many single parents raising children with special needs, the struggle is real. They constantly have to battle with worry, anxiety, and the challenging behavior of their wards. In this report, my colleague Portia Gabo tells the story of Adam Abari, a mother of 2 children with special needs.
Having one child with special needs is an experience many would not want to go through. But I'm here to meet a mother with not just 1, but 2 special children. And she's here to tell us her story.
Hello, Auntie. Welcome to our home. My name is Mariama Drame. I am visually impaired. And this is my brother, Baba. He's also visually impaired. And he has autism.
When Adama gave birth to her first daughter with special needs, she had one prayer that her next child would be born without disability. But fate had its own way. Her next child was also born with special needs.
So this is Baba. His mood changes very, very fast. From one second to another, he can be frustrated and aggressive, and the other second will start playing. For no reason, he will start hitting his head. So we just have to have time for him.
Being a mother of 2 children with special needs can be overwhelming. And this is what she has to deal with daily.
I'm not saying that let him do it, but you can't stop him on 100%. So this is why he has a sore on the nose, on the side here, here and here. So when it starts like that, sometimes we can take a walk till it goes down. Then you come back, then you can continue what you're doing. Baba.
She and her daughter Mariama have to endure constant bites from Baba. It's Baba's birthday and her sister sings to calm him.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Abba, may God give you long life. May He protect you every time. I pray that God make you talk one day.
Adama cannot work because she has to sacrifice to take care of her child, as most schools cannot enroll him.
So for 8 years, I've been with Baba in the house. I wake up, I have to attend to him. It is porridge every 2 hours. I have to make sure it doesn't hit his head. It doesn't do this, it doesn't do that. That is how my life is. So there are mothers who are also in that situation, or even worse. So we need help. We need help from those who are supposed to help us. Schooling, when I was there, there was no school for him. When you go to the school for blind, they will say he has autism, they cannot. You go to mental, they will say no.
She's unemployed and has to deal constantly with depression and anxiety.
It takes a lot from you. Being a parent, you forget who you are. You only have to be for them. There are mothers out there who are in the same situation I was in, or I am in. Some parents, they have money, but because of children like this, they can't go and work. They have diploma, they have all sorts of this thing, but they can't go and work because there is no one that they can leave their child with and be assured, and your life changes.
Founder of Clicks Africa Foundation wants more support given to parents of children with special needs like Adama.
When it comes to support, it has to be holistic. So we are looking at emotional support, we are looking at financial support, we are also, looking at people that would be there, those that would understand you. For special needs, mother, being at home doesn't mean you are absent. Being at home means 24/7 care for your child. So they need that emotional support. And for me, that mental support is so much.
Adama is looking forward to a day where stigma and discrimination against persons with disability will cease.
I advise you that who are not happy to try your best and make yourself happy. As I am talking, I'm so happy. Now I advise you to be happy like the way I am.
We are here for each other. When Baba is giving me hard time, I call you and tell you. And there are also days that Baba gives me a lot of love. And then we are the best friends. So Baba, thank you very much for making me the mom I am today, the person I am. You have taught me a lot. You have taught me a lot. I love you so much, and I pray you get better, okay? Baba?
Portia Gabo, TV3 News, Accra.
And Adama is such a strong woman, Aisha. It's not easy to have children with special needs and being with them the whole time as she's done there.
She's the one I admire in all of this, and so we pray for strength for Adama. And if you want to help her too, you can bring donations here at TV3.
Right, now it was fun at the third edition of the 2021 Homowo Arts and Cultural Festival as vendors across the country came together to mark the end of the celebrations. The colorful event took place at the forecourt of a Junction Mall at Nungwa here in Accra.
The Homowo Arts and Cultural Festival is an annual event to commemorate the Homowo celebrations. There was the usual rich display of Ga culture through music, dance, artifacts and food. Municipal Chief Executive Joshua Ni Bote was elated this year's festival was very peaceful.
What they are doing today at the mall is like running up the Homowo festivities that we have celebrated for the past 2 months. It's been very peaceful, it's been very enjoyable. The king and the Ulomo, the traditional leaders, the traditional heads, everybody came together for us to celebrate.
Chief of Otino, Ni Afote Botre, seized the opportunity to advise the citizenry.
And the pandemic has also exposed us in so many ways, especially how we keep ourselves, our environment, and what we do. And I believe that we need a change, not only a change in way of living, but in every sector in our economy.
The festival to promote the Ga culture during the Homowo season drew a number of vendors to the mall to showcase their products.
You're also watching News 360 with me, Komla Adom, and Aisha Yakubu Halit from the News Hub at Adesawe Kanda in Accra. Niela Alote will join us shortly with the latest from World of Sports. Please stay with us.
UMB Speed Up presents 10 steps to stay safe. If you can, stay home. Wash your hands regularly with soap and running water. Keep alcohol-based hand sanitizer close for frequent use. If you must go out, maintain a safe distance of at least 1 meter from the next person. Cough or sneeze with your mouth and nose covered with tissue, or bend your elbow while doing so. Avoid handshakes or hugs. Keep a mental note of people you have come into contact with or places you've been to. Avoid touching your face with unwashed hands. Drink a lot of fluids and boost your immune system with fruits and vegetables. Bank whenever, wherever with UMB Speed Up. UMB Speed Up. Digibank, let's go.
Whenever Princess starts, the neighbors do complain that her voice and the beats are too loud. Who is scared of the voices of tomorrow's superstars?
You special in your way. It's me, like no other. No one else can do it like you. It's me.
Must be a neighbor.
You special in your way. It's me. Like no other. No one else can do it like you. It's me. Like no other.
Here's to all amazing moms who identify and nurture the uniqueness in our kids.
Indomie instant noodles tastes great.
This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the FDA.
The show was a jar or bar anyone conquer dim.
The groom is sick.
What?
Malaria.
Malaria. Lufat. Lufat.
In Jija, woman malaria and kawan to them. Lufat, a malaria drop a cup.
And now you may kiss the bride.
Entrance Pharmaceuticals and Research Center. And I Lufat. Lufat, a 2 malaria sententem.
FDA, Ashasa, a Jedi Kratway Ajatum say.
Sports segment is brought to you by
Kel Kids Toothpaste.
It's time for sports on News 360. I am Aniela Aluti. To our first story, the Black Stars could have a full house by Monday night as players returning from their respective clubs are expected to report to camp ahead of the 2022 World Cup qualifiers. Black Stars coach CK Akono first named a 30-man provisional squad for the double-header against Ethiopia and South Africa 2 weeks ago. But with the European clubs reluctant to allow players to travel to countries that have been red-listed due to COVID-19, Akono has handed call-ups to 4 new players for the games. Ghana will start training on Tuesday with their first game scheduled for Friday, September 3rd in Cape Coast. Cristiano Ronaldo's presence was felt as Manchester United beat Wolves in their first game since announcing they had reached an agreement to re-sign the forward. United's win came from an 80th minute Mason Greenwood goal. Elsewhere, Heung-min Son marked his 200th appearance for the Premier League with the winning goal as Tottenham maintained their 100% start to the season against Watford. Thus far, the apparent one-goal project coupled with clean sheets has seen Spurs pick up all 9 points in 3 games.
Just pairing up in support.
A series of exhibition bouts for young boys and girls to unearth their talents in the pugilistic sports.
AIBA, that's an international body. So in the whole worldwide, they are doing boxing to celebrate that event. And in Ghana, we have chosen to make a boxing bout, but it's a matter of, it's a day showcasing boxing, combat boxing, how the boxers, when they grow up, what they become, and yeah. So on this particular day, we are showing to the world that this is the International Day of Boxing, and we have organized our juvenile boxing, our youth boxing, and our junior boxing to do some tournament. Instead of we doing showcasing the boxing, we've decided to do a short tournament for our youth and coming boxers so that they can emulate those. We just came from Tokyo recently, so that as we see, the Samuel Tichi is also here, Coach Asari is here, Vincent Takai. The captain was with us when we went to the Blaster Square for the Shoto foot out. So in a nutshell, we are here to celebrate International Boxing Day so that our mother body, that is AIBA, will know that at least in Ghana, we are also joining the Africa and the whole world to celebrate.
That will be all for sports. I am Aniela Aplute. Up next is international news.
Just a moment. And now power, huh? Yeah! Oh, yeah, Jack Macron, Homowo. It's you can I can sit there. Harry, you contumre. What docking? Tomato sauce, I want you, baby. And a pasadine for box with salad, yeah. And you stew. And a jollofa. Never to the one that don't know it, though. Or to that. And the ball of ya, or made to bunny a doa. You want a soy sauce, check for you, sir, or more tasty. And a big beans for the breakfast. Let's all a salad, or she, and a tuna. We can puffle. Let's all a salad, or taste good. And a pan on dairy creamer. 4 box with so kinsey, oats, na cremitino. You want and a spaghetti. Talia Papa B. Manson in Sijadu Re. Nafa and a spaghetti no gum. Who and a Pataliano are ready for watching on you with you. So I am a pa, no, so
Them the Ruboy FDA Ashishim Ajatu.
Welcome wherever you are on Planet Football.
You can go anywhere in the world, but nobody feels football like we do.
And they sing, they dare to sing.
It's a rhythm.
1-2.
1-2. Football. La football.
Soccer. 1-2.
That moves us.
Salah to settle it. There's no feeling like that feeling.
It's so nice. It's so nice.
Nothing compares to DSTV's unbeatable football offering. So stay connected to watch the best football on the planet.
Fraise gives you a moment of pure freshness every day. A creamy, rich leather soap with great fragrances. Fraise, a unique smooth feeling. Fraise, your moment of escape. Dream, your dreams come true.
You're welcome back. Time now to find out what the latest is on the international front.
American forces launched a drone strike in Kabul on Sunday that killed a suicide car bomber suspected of preparing to attack the airport. United States nears the end of its military presence in the city. U.S. military says they are confident the missile hit the targets they were aiming for. U.S. President Joe Biden had warned that another attack on Kabul airport was likely. More than 110,000 people have been evacuated as the U.S. continues its final flights from the country. The last UK troops, along with diplomats and officials, have now left Kabul airport. In northern Mozambique, hundreds of internally displaced people who had fled jihadist attacks that began in 2017 have begun to return to their homes following military operations involving troops for Rwanda. The Mozambican authorities have, however, warned that some areas are still not ready to be repopulated as the jihadists destroyed basic infrastructure. Close to 750,000 people have been forced to flee their homes because of the violence. In recent weeks, towns and villages in the Cabo Delgado province that had been overrun by Islamist militants have been recaptured. In Rwanda, local media has shown photos of the military helping displaced people set off in buses and lorries from displacement camps back to their homes.
There's more international news on 3news.com. Let's look at some entertainment news now.
Entertainment news segment is brought to you by Puma Drinks.
Now, the viral milk crate challenge is TikTok's latest trend. But as much as you think you may know how to conquer this dangerous feat, you may want to think again, as it has caused more harm than good. Emmanuel Samani has the details.
There is a popular saying that there should be no crying after spilling the milk. But within seconds after opening the TikTok app, you'll quickly find that there's actually a lot of crying over spilled milk crates. Yup, the latest viral challenge has taken the internet by storm, but many attempts to put one's best foot forward ends up with severe injuries. This challenge began on Facebook, later making its way to TikTok, garnering a collective 15 million views. Well, it involves stacking empty crates like a staircase in which challengers have to climb each of them up and back down without taking a tumble. And participants are failing miserably, ending up with severe injuries. Despite just 2 individuals who have gone viral for successfully climbing up and down the crates, the challenge is definitely not for the faint-hearted and could land you in the hospital. Social media has gone wild with comments about the challenge, with some users saying, "One thing I am damn sure of me, I would not be on the hashtag crate challenge, even if it's the way to the kingdom of heaven." Another social media posted on Twitter saying, "Me at home watching my uninsured friends fall off crates. Hashtag crate challenge." With another one saying, "Hospitals are going to be full of crate climbers. Hashtag crate challenge." Well, medical experts are highly advising against partaking in this stunt. It may be entertaining to watch, as this challenge is extremely dangerous and should be taken with caution and maybe with full protective gear should you choose to take the plunge. So, see you at the next challenge. Emmanuel Samani, TV3 News.
And that's a dangerous challenge.
Some of these challenges are outrageous. You don't even know where they begin from. And
I think we shouldn't try this at home. If you're watching us, this is definitely something you do not want to try at home, because it is deadly, as you have seen there.
Thank you very much for joining us this evening. Remember, there's more news on 3news.com. My name is Aisha Yakubu Khalid.
And I am Komla Adum. Up next is Ghana's Most Beautiful. Please stay with us.